Hey, so I'm guessing you've probably been thinking about learning English for a while now, right? You've seen how useful it is, especially if you want to travel, talk to people from different countries, or maybe just watch movies and shows in their original language without needing subtitles. But I know it's also easy to feel a bit stuck or unsure about where to start or how to stay consistent with your learning. I mean, with so many ways to learn and all kinds of advice out there, it's normal to feel a little lost or even overwhelmed. But here's the thing, you're definitely not alone in this. A lot of people have been exactly where you are now, thinking about how they could get better at English, but not knowing the best approach. And that's totally okay. The good news is that there are some really simple and fun ways to improve your English, and you don't need to make it a boring or stressful task. Learning English should be enjoyable, something that you can look forward to, not something you feel you have to force yourself to do every day. When you approach it with the right mindset, it actually becomes a lot more fun and exciting than you might expect. So in this video, I want to share with you some cool and easy ways that you can start improving your English skills right now. These are things that anyone can do, whether you're just starting or you've been studying English for a while. The key is to keep it simple, and most importantly, make it something you actually enjoy. Trust me, if you stay committed to these little steps, you'll start noticing progress faster than you think. Let's be real for a second. Learning a new language, especially English, can feel like a huge mountain that you have to climb. But here's the twist. It doesn't have to be that way. It's all about breaking down that mountain into smaller, more manageable pieces. If you approach learning English the right way, it's more like a fun adventure that you get to experience every single day. Imagine learning while watching your favorite shows, listening to interesting podcasts, or even chatting with friends. There are so many ways to practice, and the best part is that they fit right into your lifestyle. You don't have to change everything about your day or spend hours studying in a classroom. And don't worry if things feel tough at first. That's completely normal. Everyone goes through that phase, even people who speak English fluently now. The difference is that they kept going and they stuck with it until it became a part of their daily routine. So don't let the challenges scare you off. You've got this, and I'll be here to guide you through the whole process. You'll take it one step at a time so you never feel lost or overwhelmed. One of the biggest things I want you to keep in mind throughout this journey is that learning English doesn't need to be rushed. It's not a race, and there's no deadline to meet. The beauty of learning a language is that it's a lifelong process. You don't have to be perfect right away, and that's totally fine. The key to success is consistency and having fun with it. So, if you enjoy what you're doing, even on the days when things don't seem to be going perfectly, you're still making progress. Now, before we jump into the specifics of how you can start improving your English, I want to remind you that this whole process should be something you enjoy. If you start to look at learning as a game, a challenge, or even an adventure, you'll begin to see it in a whole new light. And when it feels exciting and rewarding, it's a lot easier to stick with it. Trust me. I know it can be tempting to compare yourself to other people who seem to be doing better, but remember that everyone's learning journey is different. You don't need to be perfect or get everything right the first time. What matters is that you're making progress, no matter how small it seems. This is your learning adventure, and you get to set the pace. There's no rush here. The more you enjoy the process, the more natural it'll feel. So let's start thinking about this whole thing in a new way. Learning English doesn't have to be hard work. It can be a fun challenge. All you need to do is get started, and once you do, you'll start noticing little improvements every day. So, are you ready to dive in? Let's take this journey together and make it one that's fun, exciting, and filled with new experiences. All right, let's break it down. The goal of this whole thing is super simple. I want to help you learn English in a way that doesn't feel like a chore or something that's going to make you stressed out. It's not about following strict rules or memorizing endless grammar charts. Instead, we're going to focus on having fun, taking it easy, and making sure you enjoy every step of the way. After all, the best way to learn something new is when it feels natural and exciting, right? Now, I know it might seem a bit overwhelming at first. English is a big language, and there are a lot of things to learn. But that's where I come in. We're going to break it down into small, bite-sized chunks that are easy to digest. Each step will be a small victory, and before you know it, you'll find yourself understanding more, speaking with more confidence, and even writing better, all without feeling like you're under a ton of pressure. This journey isn't about cramming your head with tons of vocabulary or stressing over every little grammar mistake. It's about slowly building up your language skills over time and doing it in a way that fits into your life. I'm talking about making English part of your daily routine in a way that feels effortless, natural, and fun. Whether you're listening to an English podcast on your way to work, watching a show in English, or simply having a conversation with someone, it should feel easy and comfortable, and let's be real, everyone learns in their own way. Some people are more visual learners. Some learn better by speaking and hearing things over and over, while others need to write things down to really understand. So we're going to mix things up a bit. There is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to language learning, and I'm here to show you different methods and tools that will work best for you. Whether you prefer watching videos, listening to podcasts, or reading, I've got your back. You can choose the style that feels right for you and go with it. The goal here isn't to be perfect. It's to be comfortable with the language and to gradually improve over time. As you progress, we'll work on real-life situations that actually matter to you. Why study something that you won't use? English isn't just about sitting in a classroom or passing exams. It's about speaking with people, understanding movies or songs, and feeling confident in everyday situations. So, as you learn, we're going to make sure that everything you're studying is practical and relevant to your own life. Need English for travel? We'll cover phrases you'll use when you're out and about. Want to use English at work? We'll go over the important vocabulary and phrases that will help you with your job. One of the main things I want to emphasize is that language learning is a process. And like any process, it requires time and patience. You don't have to rush through everything. It's okay to take things slow. Focus on one thing at a time. Maybe today you're practicing new vocabulary. Tomorrow it's listening skills. And the day after that, you're working on your pronunciation. It's all about consistency, not speed. The goal is to keep going step by step, and you'll see improvement over time. But here's the thing, don't expect it to always be easy. There will be days when you feel like you're stuck or when things just don't seem to be clicking. That's totally normal, and it happens to everyone who learns a language. What's important is to not give up. On those tough days, just take a break, relax, and come back with a fresh mind. Progress is progress, even if it feels small at times. Another thing to keep in mind is that this isn't just about English for the sake of English. This is about you being able to express yourself better, connect with people from all over the world, and open up new opportunities. Learning a language is like unlocking a new world of possibilities. It lets you experience movies, books, music, and cultures in a whole new way. So yeah, we're learning English, but really, we're also learning about the world and how to connect with it on a deeper level. The point of this whole thing is not just to pass exams or follow a set curriculum. It's to enjoy the process, celebrate your small wins, and have fun while learning something new. You're not alone in this. Together, we'll make sure that each day you feel more comfortable, confident, and ready to take on whatever English comes your way. And who knows, maybe by the end of this journey, English will just feel like a natural part of your life, something you use without even thinking twice. That's the real goal here. So to wrap it up, we're going to take it easy. Focus on practical English that matters to you, and make sure the whole learning process feels natural and fun. No pressure, just progress. And by the end of this, you'll be using English with confidence, without feeling like you're putting in too much effort. This is going to be a fun ride. So let's get started. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between towering mountains and lush forests, there was a young girl named Emily. Emily wasn't like most of the kids in the village. While other children spent their days playing tag, running through the meadows, or helping their parents with farm chores, Emily found peace in the quiet of nature. She loved to walk in the forest alone, exploring the hidden corners that no one else seemed to visit. It was in these quiet moments that Emily felt truly alive, as if the world around her was whispering secrets only she could hear. One afternoon, as Emily wandered deeper into the woods than usual, she stumbled upon something unusual. There, lying on the ground, was a small, shiny stone that glowed faintly in the dappled sunlight. Emily bent down, curiosity sparking in her chest, and picked it up. The moment her fingers touched the stone, she felt a strange warmth spread through her hand. It was as if the stone was alive, pulsing with energy. Emily was taken aback. She had never seen anything like it before. Maybe it's just a trick of the light, Emily thought to herself, trying to shake off the strange feeling. But deep down, she knew that the stone was special. It felt like it held a secret, something mysterious that was waiting to be uncovered. Emily decided to take the stone home, unsure of what would happen next, but feeling a sense of adventure bubbling inside her. That night, as Emily prepared for bed, she placed the stone carefully on her windowsill. She had read about magical objects in books before, but never did she think she would find one in her own backyard. The stone seemed to hum quietly, as if it was calling to her, and for a moment, Emily felt as though the world around her had quieted down, leaving only the sound of the stone's soft vibration. When Emily woke up the next morning, she was shocked to find the stone had moved. It wasn't on the windowsill anymore. Instead, it was sitting on her desk, right next to a map she'd been drawing of the village. How had it gotten there? Emily was certain she hadn't touched it. The stone shimmered in the morning sunlight, its glow even brighter than before. She picked it up again, her curiosity growing with every second. This time, when she held the stone, she felt a surge of energy rush through her body. It was a powerful feeling, like the stone was connecting with her on a deeper level. In a moment of panic, Emily dropped the stone, afraid of what might happen next. But the stone just lay there, perfectly still, as if nothing had changed. Emily stared at it, her heart racing, unsure of what to make of the experience. She had never felt anything like it before. Determined to figure out what was going on, Emily decided to return to the forest the next day. Maybe the forest had something to do with the stone, she thought. She walked the same path, heading towards the spot where she had first discovered the glowing stone. When she arrived, Emily knelt down and placed the stone gently on the ground, feeling that strange, familiar connection with it. She didn't know why, but it felt like the right thing to do. As soon as the stone touched the earth, something incredible happened. The air around Emily seemed to shift. The trees whispered softly, the wind carried a peaceful hum, and Emily felt an overwhelming sense of calm wash over her. For the first time, she didn't feel alone in the forest. It was as if the entire woodland had come alive, welcoming her into its embrace. She looked around, trying to make sense of the strange events, but the forest seemed to hold its secrets tight. From that day on, Emily returned to the forest every afternoon. She kept the stone in her pocket, and with every visit, she felt a deeper connection to the world around her. Over time, Emily began to notice things she hadn't before. She could hear the whispers of the trees, the songs of the birds, and even the soft footsteps of the animals that roamed the woods. It was as though the stone had unlocked something inside her, something that allowed her to see and hear the magic of the forest. One afternoon, as Emily sat by a small stream, she realized something important. The stone wasn't just a magical object. It was a tool that helped her discover herself. She had always felt different from the other kids in the village. While they enjoyed playing together, Emily found solace in the quiet corners of the world. The stone had helped her embrace that difference, showing her that there was nothing wrong with being herself. It had taught her that sometimes the most magical discoveries come not from external treasures, but from within. Emily smiled as she gazed at the stone in her hand. It was a simple object, but it had brought her so much. It had opened her eyes to the beauty of the world around her and the magic that existed in the everyday. She knew that the stone would always be with her, guiding her through the adventures yet to come. And so Emily continued to visit the forest every day, uncovering its secrets, learning its lessons, and discovering new things about herself. The stone had opened a door to a world of magic, but it had also opened a door to her heart. In that moment, Emily realized that the greatest adventure wasn't about finding hidden treasures or solving ancient mysteries. It was about discovering who you truly are. Let's analyze the story. Now that we know Emily's story and her experience with the mysterious piece of stone, it's important to reflect on what we can learn from it and how it connects with practicing English and personal development. Every part of this story has a deep meaning that's not just about magic or mystery, but about self-discovery and our relationship with the world around us. Let's explore these ideas, observe the structure of the narrative, and see how they can be applied to learning the English language. First, it's interesting to note that the protagonist, Emily, begins the story as someone who feels different from others, someone who doesn't fit the usual behavior patterns of her community. She spends her days alone, exploring nature and searching for something beyond what other children seem to be after. This is something we all have felt at some point in our lives. Sometimes we find ourselves seeking something greater, a connection to something beyond the daily distractions. Emily teaches us that there is nothing wrong with being different and seeking what resonates with who we truly are. This search for something deeper can be seen as a metaphor for our own language learning journey. When Emily finds the mysterious object, the glowing stone, it becomes a turning point in her life. The stone represents the discovery of something new, something that will change the way she sees the world. She feels a deep connection with the object and the energy it gives off, which leads her to a path of exploration and self-awareness. Just as the stone changes Emily, learning a new language can also be a transformative process. At first, we may feel confused or insecure about the new language, but as we connect more with it, we begin to realize that it opens new doors, new ways to understand the world and even ourselves. Emily's relationship with nature and the stone reflects the importance of connecting with our environment during the learning process. When she returns to the forest, Emily places the stone on the ground, and it seems to trigger a reaction in the surroundings, making her more aware of the nature around her. Similarly, learning a new language is not only about words and grammar, but also about connecting with the cultural and social world surrounding the language. The forest symbolizes the new world, a place full of possibilities, and the stone is the catalyst that allows Emily to explore this new environment. This can be compared to learning English, where we start with a small base, perhaps simple words or phrases, and over time, we begin discovering more about the culture and daily life of the people who speak the language. The story also reflects on the value of small things. Emily doesn't realize that by following her curiosity and deciding to explore the mystery of the stone, she's developing a deeper understanding of herself. She begins to realize that the greatest treasure is not the stone or the mystery it represents, but the journey of self-discovery it provides. For English learners, this is a valuable lesson. The focus should not only be on rapid fluency or speaking perfectly. The real value is in the learning process itself, in the small victories along the way, and in the positive impact that learning has on our worldview. The idea that learning is a journey is one of the central messages of the story. Emily doesn't find all the answers immediately, but she starts to understand that the search for truth is an ongoing process. This mindset is crucial when learning a new language. Instead of expecting an immediate answer or instant fluency, we should embrace the journey with its challenges and rewards. Every new word, every learned sentence, every mistake made is part of the journey that leads us to a richer understanding of the language and culture. Furthermore, Emily's story teaches us about the power of confidence. When she feels the energy of the stone and starts noticing the changes around her, she must trust herself to follow this new path. Confidence is key when learning any skill, especially when it comes to learning a language. Often we feel insecure when speaking a new language, fearing making mistakes or not being understood. However, Emily's confidence in exploring her connection with the stone is something we can apply to our own language journey. Confidence is built over time as we practice and face challenges. Learning English, like any other skill, requires us to trust the process and not give up in the face of difficulties. Finally, Emily's story shows us that in the end, the real magic is not in the stone, but in the experience it provides. The stone is just an object, but it's the journey that Emily goes on that transforms her. This is a powerful metaphor for language learning. As we dive into English, we are not just acquiring words and phrases, we are transforming ourselves. We are developing our ability to communicate, to understand other cultures, and to connect with people from different parts of the world. The language is the key that opens new doors to new experiences. In summary, Emily's story can be seen as a metaphor for the process of learning English, a journey of discovery, self-awareness, and transformation. Like Emily, we should embrace the mystery and magic that learning brings, trusting the process and celebrating every small victory along the way. Learning is a continuous journey, and just like Emily with her stone, we are always discovering something new about the world and about ourselves. And finally, we've reached the end of this learning journey. When we first dive into the world of English, everything can feel pretty challenging. But along the way, we start to realize that with patience, dedication, and a hands-on approach, we can turn even the toughest obstacles into opportunities for growth. Remember that learning English, just like any other skill, is not a race, but a journey that takes time, effort, and most importantly, persistence. One of the most valuable lessons we can take away from this learning journey is that there is no one right way to master English. Everyone has their own pace and learning methods, and that's completely normal. Some people prefer studying with books, others feel more comfortable learning with videos and podcasts, while some choose to engage in daily conversations with natives or fellow learners. The key is to experiment with different approaches and figure out what works best for you. This flexibility in methods is one of the things that make learning a language so rich and exciting. However, it's important to understand that learning a new language isn't just about memorizing words and grammar rules. English, like any other language, is a window into understanding different cultures, ideas, and ways of life. By learning English, you're not just gaining a new tool for communication. You're also expanding your horizons and connecting with people from all around the world. Language, after all, is a reflection of society, history, and the values of a people. And this is what makes English so fascinating, the cultural richness it carries. One thing we must never forget is that constant practice is essential for success. It doesn't matter how many classes you've taken or how many books you've read. If you don't practice, if you don't expose yourself to the language consistently, the results will come slowly. Practicing English every day, even if only for a few minutes, makes a huge difference over time. Don't worry if you make mistakes in the beginning. Mistakes are a natural part of the learning process, and each one of them is an opportunity to improve. And remember, learning is a personal journey. You're not competing with anyone. There is no ideal time to become fluent. Everyone has their own process, and it's important to respect your own pace. Be patient with yourself and celebrate the small wins along the way. Every word you learn, every sentence you understand, every conversation you participate in is an achievement, and that should be celebrated. Additionally, it's important to maintain a positive mindset. Often, when faced with difficulties, fear and frustration can take over. But if you change the way you view learning, you'll realize that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Struggling to understand something or getting frustrated for not being able to express yourself perfectly is part of the process. The most important thing is not to give up. If you keep trying and improving little by little, progress will come, and before you know it, you'll be communicating more easily and with more confidence. Another important point is to stay curious. When we're curious about what we're learning, the process becomes much more fun and enjoyable. Instead of seeing learning English as an obligation, try to view it as an adventure. There is always something new to learn. New words, expressions, cultures, stories, and perspectives. This makes learning English a unique and enriching experience. Make the most of every moment of this journey, because in the end, the most important thing is not just the destination, but the experience itself. Along this learning journey, you'll get to know yourself better, discover new ways of thinking and seeing the world, and connect with people you might never have had the opportunity to meet otherwise. Learning a language is a bridge that connects different worlds and opens doors to new possibilities. So, keep going. No matter where you are on your English learning journey, the important thing is to keep taking steps toward your goal. Don't rush, but don't waste time either. Make the most of each day to learn something new and, above all, have fun with the process. Every day you dedicate to English is one step closer to fluency. Believe in your potential, trust the process, and keep exploring this wonderful world of the English language. You might not realize it, but with every new step, you're getting closer to a new horizon. English is a skill that will open many doors for you, not just professionally, but personally as well. The friendships you'll make, the cultures you'll explore, the books and movies you'll understand in their original language. The possibilities are endless. Finally, remember that learning is an ongoing journey. There's never a definitive point of arrival because there's always more to learn. And that's what makes this journey so exciting. There's always something new waiting for you. So keep learning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep believing in your potential. The future is full of opportunities, and English is the key to unlocking many of them. Don't miss out on more tips, tricks, and exciting ways to learn English. Hit that subscribe button and join the journey with us. Let's grow together.